The concept of having more space than your opponent is very important in chess, and it's something that sometimes people don't think about. But if you have the ability to move your pieces all around wherever you want, and your opponent does not because they don't have enough space to maneuver, that can be a very big advantage for the side who has the extra space. Now, obviously, this is not a real position, this is not a real game, but I just wanted to illustrate this. But it does show up in real games, and the game that you're about to see is actually a perfect example of this. So pay attention to the concept of space as we go through this next game. So this is round number 4. I had 2 out of 3. My opponent also 2 out of 3. I was playing with the black pieces. Let's go ahead and take a look. So he plays e4, and I decided to play g6. Now, I've been experimenting with an opening recently where we fianchetto the bishop here, attack the center. He played knight f3, and I went for c6. And basically, this system is you fianchetto the bishop, you play c6 and d5, and then let's actually move forward. He played bishop e2, I played d5. And a lot of times when they push, you're going to kind of fight for control of these light squares over here, and I did that with the move h5. And the point is basically that I'm going to plant either a knight or a bishop here, and I don't want this pawn to chase my knight away. So I'm getting ready to do that with something like this. Okay, that's why we're pushing a random pawn on the side of the board, right? Because if you put the knight there, otherwise the pawn would just chase it away. Okay, so he castles. I played knight h6. He plays h3. He doesn't want my bishop to go here. Now, this might not look like much to you guys, but this is actually a very smart move because when you are playing in a cramped position, which my position is a little bit cramped, notice he gained a little bit of space, right, when he played the move e5. If you can trade a set of minor pieces, that actually helps the person who's more cramped. So if he doesn't play h3, let's just say he plays a different move, for example, like some random move. If I'm able to play bishop g4 and trade off my bishop, now I'm not as cramped. I have a little bit more room to work with, right? So h3 is actually a very smart move, taking that option away from my bishop. So I brought my knight into f5 instead. And so I've at least succeeded in planting the knight on a good square. He can't easily chase that away. I mean, you could do it, but it's going to open up the rook on the king, right? You have to be careful. c4. What do you notice about this move? White is gaining more space. And I was wondering, like, okay, what's the point? Is he going to push here? I wasn't super concerned with this because I felt like we could play b6 and a5. Pretty common, like, ways to break if somebody is trying to clamp down on the center. I thought I would be okay. But I actually totally misplayed this. And this is a risk when you experiment with new openings. So this is a relatively new system for me. I've played it a few times online, but I'm not an expert on it. And most of the people that I've played against have not played knight f3 and bishop e2. They've played like knight c3. And so with the knight on c3, you actually can't push the pawn forward. But in this case, he could. And I totally reacted in the wrong way here, and I played the move e6. You can already see, like, it's kind of crazy that the eval bar is saying +2 for white. We're on move 8. It doesn't look like I've done anything too wrong, and yet because of the lack of space, the engine is like, yeah, this is bad for black. This is really bad for black. And if you're wondering, the move that I'm supposed to play here is bishop to e6. A little awkward, putting the bishop in front of the pawn, but I don't really need this bishop to come here. It's already developed here, so it's actually okay. And knight g5, you can actually just play queen d7 or even takes, but just something like this is okay for me. That's what I needed to play. Okay. I played e6. Now I'm like, this is already off to a bad start. Okay. He plays knight c3. And I played a move here that, honestly, I already was kind of not liking any of my moves, which is something that can happen when you don't have a lot of space, right? Like, you're just like, well, what am I going to do? None of the moves, like, look good, And I didn't want to play knight d7 because I was thinking, like, if this trade happens, maybe the knight is jumping in here and I'm in trouble. If I take this way, I was thinking, I don't know, this looks kind of dangerous. e6, now I have a lot of weaknesses here, and my king is potentially not good, although the engine says this is actually fine. So maybe this was not as big of a deal as I thought it was. But I'm like, I don't know, I just don't like that. My bishop is stuck. So I played b6, and I'm thinking, like, okay, I'm going to potentially put the bishop over here and generate some counterplay this way. And the next couple of moves, I mean, just watch this. Bishop g5 hits the queen. I mean, f6, you could play f6, but again, these weaknesses are really, really big. I didn't want to do that. So I moved the queen away. But now he played rook c1, and I'm feeling the heat here, right? This is a threat. He's going to take this. For example, if I play a random move, he could just take this. And if I take back, knight takes d5 because there's a pin, right? Super basic tactic, but I have to be careful. And again, look at the eval bar. I am already in a losing position. It is a move 11, and I am lost simply because my position is so cramped, and I'm not even able to really develop these pieces. And meanwhile, white has all 4 pieces developed, even the rook. They are castled. I mean, this is like, I'm embarrassed by the way this game has started. Like, this is just awful. So I played queen b7. I mean, what am I going to play? Like, there's no good moves for me already. So I played queen b7 to get away from this. He played queen d2. And I don't even know how to develop my pieces. And I was concerned with this capture with the knight jumping in, bishop check. So I played a6 thinking that like this might be useful at some point to play c5. I need control of this square. The problem is I don't have time for moves like this. Like I need to figure out a way to get my pieces out. But there's no way. Like I don't have any good moves. He played g4. Which, okay, it's a little risky because you're opening up your king, but actually it turned out to be a very smart decision. And it's not that hard to see. Like, he's got both rooks, and I don't have the other rook. And so I probably should not have actually opened the file, but I did. And I retreated my knight. But you're going to notice he can just do this very, very easily, right, and get control of the file. And so my position is completely losing. What did I play? He played queen f4, so he defends the pawn with the queen and brings in another attacker. Great move. I played knight d7. I'm trying to get this knight over here, maybe play bishop d7, and by some miracle castle queenside if I can get rid of the bishop. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to happen, but what am I going to play? I'm just making moves at this point because I have to try something. He plays king g2, and like I said, the rook is coming over. And going back to the concept of having more space, the reason this game is so easy for white and so difficult for me is because he has space to move his pieces around and put them on good squares. Meanwhile, look at this bishop. Look at this rook. My knight can't even move. This knight can't even move. This bishop is not doing anything. My queen might as well be a pawn. Like, literally, it may as well just be a pawn sitting over. Like, it's awful. It is so bad. Like, I don't even know what to say. I played knight g8. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Stockfish agrees. There are no good moves for black. He brings the rook over. I played f6. I'm basically trying to create a path for my queen to come over. Otherwise, there's no moves. I don't really know what to say. I captured here. He throws in this move going for this, which I can't really defend. If I try to defend with the knight or the queen, let's just say the queen, knight e5 is going to happen, hitting this, and that's no good. So I played captures. He checked me. I moved my king over. He captures back, completely losing again. Like, I'm pinned. I can't move. Rook a7. He comes in. I played bishop d7. Check, 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 and the rook comes down. There was actually a forced mate here with, where was it? Yeah, right here. Rook h8 is mate. So it's a sacrifice. Then you take that with check. Queen f8 check. Bishop f4 check. Oh, that's just mate. Yeah. So there was a forced mate. Of course, it doesn't matter. In the game, he played knight e5 check, followed by rook h7, and I resigned. I can't take the rook because the bishop is pinning. He's going to just take my bishop. I can't move this because it's pinned. Anywhere I move this to, it's going to get captured. I mean, this is like a textbook example of what not to do. Literally everything that I did in this game, don't do it, and you will do fine. I am embarrassed. I am embarrassed by this game. And it just illustrates the concept of space, right? You cannot let your opponent have so much space where you can't move anything. Now, the obvious question that you're probably asking is, Nelson, why did you do this, right? Well, I'll go ahead and tell you. When I was playing these systems, like I said, already kind of said, most people played knight c3, and I was expecting the game to go something like this. And you'll notice the c4 move cannot happen so quickly when there is a knight on c3. In the game, c4 came so fast, and I didn't know how to handle it. I have not seen that in the games that I was practicing, and I just totally reacted the wrong way. You have to either take to open it up a little bit and at least create a weakness here, or put the bishop on e6. Those are acceptable reactions. but e6 is absolutely not. And I reacted the wrong way. And from there, it was just like, what are you going to do now? It's already plus 2.2 something, right? And so that was what happened for me. And then it's just kind of a snowball from that moment on. But yeah, I mean, it's a risk when you play a new opening if you're surprised kind of by a certain idea and you don't know how to respond. Like this can happen. So very tough game. I was obviously not happy with this one. It wasn't even a game. I mean, I'm sure he was like hardly even had to think. He was just like, "Oh yeah, thank you very much for the free, rating points." So yeah, I don't know. Tough game. Uh, two out of 4 now, and we'll see what we can do in the next round. So thank you guys for watching. Sorry, I don't have something better to share with you, but space is important, and you don't want to be on the wrong side of it if you're too cramped. That's the big takeaway from this one.